Lovely listeners, tonight we have exciting new news as the Mandela Catalog has updated in its series. The Mandela Catalog Vol.2 just dropped last night, and of course, as promised, we are going to be watching it. For those who don't know, the Mandela Catalog is a analog core that kind of goes around the entire idea of these doppelgangers, these things that are able to mimic and appear to be human, but they actually are not, and how you should be avoiding them. So that is where we are going to be getting started. So we're on to the newest installment of the series, the Mandela Catalog Volume 2, which I'm really excited to watch. I think this is going to be really, it already looks really spooky. It's 20 minutes long, so it's already, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the longest installment so far in the series as a whole, which is really interesting. We've already kind of been shown through the series that the government and authorities and the people like first responders, they are not to be trusted in this universe. Most of the time, the first responders and authorities have been told not to actually go out and help people. That it's kind of like every man for themselves right now. So I'm not surprised that the government's kind of saying like you guys aren't going to get any like money or like financial help with this in this disaster, because already the government cannot be trusted. So again, I'm not surprised. Wanted by the FBI, Adam Murray and Jonah Marshall. Suspects possibly associated with the Bythorn Paranormal Society. $100,000 reward. Okay. Gender? Victim 3, Victim 4. So Mark, in the other video, Mark and Caesar were Victim 1 and 2. This is Victim 3 and 4. So this is in the, so they're, I'm guessing that they are also deceased. Okay, alert, please enable a video. Okay, yeah, so interesting that they seem to, they said alternate, so they're already aware of the alternates, the doppelgangers are going with the creatures. So I wonder if they're like in parentheses exterminators, like they're killing these things for money. Because that would be the only, which also again is really weird that the government is saying that these are wanted people by the FBI, like these people, like these two teenagers, like they're kids, wanted by the FBI for helping people. That's a little interesting. Okay, it's interesting. That was a little interesting that they mentioned a couple of things there. That they mentioned the mayor. So this again, the government cannot be trusted. They don't trust the government, it seems. And secondly, they mentioned that one, there could be a war on alternates, and two, they've been getting a lot of calls lately about alternates. So that's a little interesting in my opinion. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind is that the GPS signal went from green to yellow. So at this point, the signal's a little wonky. The time still is at 11:42, however, which is a little interesting. That this is changing, but the time's not. Powering off, please wait. Could the car not be working earlier? Be some form of foreshadowing? It could be. It could be. We still have first night 1, January 12, 2009, 11:45 p.m. So this is the latest piece of media we've seen, because I'm pretty sure the Mark and Caesar's case happened in the 90s. So this is as of the most recent thing we've seen in the installment so far. So we're fast forward, and the alternates are still a thing. Now, again, it's interesting, and I guess something I would want to reinstate is that in the first incident, with the victims 1 and 2, victim 2 was actually an alternate. It was it was a creature, right? And it called victim number 1 and lured him to his house, to eventually goodbye Mark. So I'm curious if, how do they know that the people calling them are actual people and not alternates? If that makes sense? All right. Interesting little piece of info there. So Jonah's in the house. Adam's not. So at this point in time, I don't know how they're communicating right now, but Jonah's the only one in the house. Um, I'm guessing Adam's watching through a camera potentially. Yeah, I was thinking maybe this was just a trap by an alternate because the lady on the phone felt off. It did feel off, but then again, the first, incident in story was just that it was a trap. So I feel like it wouldn't be like two stories back to back of the same thing happening. So I'm not gonna list this as a trap just yet.
You see anything in there?
Alert, internal hard drive microphone is damaged for an unknown reason. Please visit your local electronics retailer for assistance or recalibrate yourself. No input detected. I'm trying to focus on like both the window and the door and over here at the same time because again, like it's really weird that they show us this if nothing's going on in the scene.
What?
Okay, so there's a scream. Weak signal error. 333. Second night, January 13th, 2009. Midnight is 12:32 a.m. The exposure to the blank causes a great increase in video corruption and deterioration. Okay, so I'm guessing the exposure, because they did mention in the last video to destroy all TVs and mirrors because they can do something to the frequencies and broadcast things on certain frequencies. So I wonder if that's what's going on here with the camera, where it's if an alternate is near you, the camera will start glitching out. This is interesting. This might be our first case of an alternate talking to someone because this thing, for those who don't know, basically like a spirit box, is that it uses frequencies to where ghosts are able to communicate to you pretty much. So knowing that these alternates can already change frequencies and use that to broadcast things, I'm feeling that this might be where we get our first alternate conversation where it actually talks to Adam. Interesting. I stopped it like right at a very interesting point.
Shut up. You see anything on the cameras?
Oh my god, behind you!
Dude, cut it out.
Oh my god, behind you!
Dude, seriously, stop.
Oh my god, behind you! Behind you! Behind you!
Dude, fucking quit!
What the hell did I do?
Just forget.
Interesting. So, like there, it was Jonah talking, but obviously it wasn't Jonah. So that was really interesting for a second there. There's so much going on right now.
God's probably not even looking. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. It was good, but suddenly I feel kind of scared.
I guess this is where I hit the hay, Adam. Okay, this is really interesting because this is the angel's voice from the biblical story kind of stuff that we've been saying. So you follow the shepherd, you are a fool. So I guess this is maybe talking about Adam and Jonah's situation here, where one of them is like the leader and the other one's a follower, and they're just kind of like following each other's word blindly. Follow my voice instead. Do not make me wake the others. Said Adam.
Hey, I lost visuals on cam 3.
It's kind of, okay, so that was a little interesting. I also just kind of realized that so far every name that we've kind of that we come across is a biblical name. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but every name so far, Mark, Jonah, Adam, these are all very biblical names. Which is really interesting to me that a lot that it's happening to these individuals with these biblical names, as well as is cutting back to like the biblical cartoons. But it's talking a lot about how right now, you're following, you're a fool. You follow the shepherd. You're not listening to me. Follow my voice. Like, it's deceiving Adam. And as we all know, in the infamous first story in the Bible with Adam and Eve, Eve deceived Adam, and Adam, blindly trusted Eve, and it led into like how men had created its first sin. So I wonder if this is really what it's kind of like leading into right now, where like this is what this is kind of like in real life, as between Jonah and Adam, it's kind of supposed to be telling the story of Adam and Eve, where one of them is being deceived.
You think you could check that out?
And the door is open. This is the outside, and it's open. It's a sliding glass door, I'm guessing. Ooh, motion censored, perhaps. I will say, however, before we continue watching, because we only have 7 more minutes in this before it gets to the end. I will say at this point, I don't think and I could be wrong, but I don't think Adam that we've been hearing talking to Jonah on the radio is actual Jonah. Is actually Adam. I think Adam at this point is actually deceased. And or it's using Jonah's voice to deceive Adam into staying in the house longer. And it's doing it back and forth to them. So like to them, it's just a normal conversation between like it's me and if I'm Jonah and talking to Adam, it was Adam. But in reality, when I hear Adam, it's not Adam. But when Adam hears Jonah, it's not Jonah. Like it's deceiving both of them at the same time. If that makes sense. Because Jonah's saying like, "Hey, Cam 3 is off," but Adam has not responded at this point and has not acknowledged it. But he's talking as if like everything's still fine, and they've been calming, talking to each other for a minute now. So, it's kind of interesting. Just the door is open. Ooh, that is some footsteps. Okay, so the door is right open now. Is this the locked door? I think this is the door that was locked. It was the only locked door in the house. Ooh, that's to open your eyes. Okay, I was gonna say is what's going on? Oh, interesting. So that's definitely backwards. Patients report multiple sleepless nights after the symptoms initially become apparent. It's not difficult to avoid, however. The patient must try to actively seek it out. Patients report multiple sleepless nights after their symptoms initially become apparent. So it's almost like a virus, perhaps. Like if you are exposed to the alternate, it's something where it's not like a mental, like a psychological, like you start hallucinating and all this other stuff. Perhaps maybe this is interesting. Because it's interesting because this text is obviously from the present. However, the things that were being shown is from the past. So this could apply to any point in the story. It feels like it doesn't have to apply to what we're seeing on screen right now. Which I do want to keep it point out the things that we see right now may not be needed to be applied at this point in time. It just wants us to keep this in mind, kind of thing. Image 333. Interesting, because the 333 is also the error. Adam, why didn't you come back to the car after you tried talking to it? Okay, okay, so this is kind of like confirming what I initially mentioned, where I think it was like deceiving both of them at the same time. So like he So right after way back, God, when was that? This was like way back here. So at 10 minutes when he was talking to at the 10-minute marker, so 4 minutes ago, when he was talking to this guy to the spirit kind of thing, he didn't come back. So at that point, I feel like this is where Adam is deceased. This is no longer Adam talking. Don't act like I don't know you stare at these stupid pictures all day. I know you're reading this. I don't think he's reading it, Jonah. Look, man, I'm hungry and I don't want to leave without you. I'm kind of worried. I don't know what you're so busy doing in there. Just come out to the car and let's go get a pizza and then back home, please. Again, it's also kind of interesting that they're aware alternates are existing and they have gotten many calls about alternates. However, it doesn't seem like they've actually encountered one before, which is a little like kind of confusing, conflicting in my head because I feel like they should have already been aware that this is like at the first signs of what was going on. They should have known that this is an alternate if they've gotten so many calls about them. Jonah, look, the locked door is open. I can finally hear the cat. It's meowing. Call me on the radio, and you can help me with this, Adam. So at this point, I don't think this is Adam. I think this is not Adam. I would be surprised if this is actually Adam alive in the flesh. And again, didn't Jonah, if I'm not mistaken, hang on. I'm pretty sure Jonah mentioned on the call a cat alternate. Like, he called it an alternate at first. Which is also, again, a little confusing. Like, if you guys are aware that there are things, why are you interacting with it in this kind of way? Nothing is worth the risk. Okay, so we're getting a lot of backstory right now. So, he mentioned, I'm sorry I'm not as broken as you are. Perhaps the alternates can only really get someone if something has happened to them, if something's not right with them, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is really interesting how now it seems like they are, they're talking, obviously, they're talking about the alternates, so they've taken so much from us, but yet you still run to them. This is real.
It's real, and you should know that more than anybody. What's that even supposed to...
Oh, wait. So it mentioned that, it mentioned that patients, have sleepless nights, and there's unless they go to it. So again, perhaps I think Adam something's been wrong with Adam for a really long time.
We never looked
for you because she is dead and she's gone. Okay, wait. This is really so much has happened there. Okay, so something happened. So something has happened before this to where he said that nothing happens, but this time it's real. So they don't have experience of alternates. No, but they do, because they said if you pay attention, just then they mentioned how they went to go look for someone else, and that no matter what they would have done, she was gone and she was dead. So they have encountered alternates before. However, again, it could be a thing where the minds are playing tricks on them. Obviously nothing has gone wrong up until now, so they're kind of like, oh, this is what's going on. They were fine, we're chill. But it kept telling Adam, like, obviously I think what we were hearing beforehand was like, Adam, you followed the shepherd, you're a fool. I feel like it's talking in a literal sense of like, it's like Adam wants answers and keeps following these things, and that was his downfall. The downfall is that he can't let these things, like, he wants answers to a point to where he go anywhere, instead of taking his leave. But again, at this point, it's a little confusing to me, in a narrative sense of like what exactly we're seeing. If that makes sense, because they've already had experience of alternates. Something happened with, I'm guessing, with one of their parents or one of their siblings, to where they've both experienced these things. They both have already encountered one of these things before, and they weren't like this in the beginning. You know, why did Jonah just now? Again, unless it's not Jonah and it's using Jonah's, it's using the frequency on the walkie-talkie to kind of like edge Adam on to where it's like, hey, go downstairs because Jonah just said all the shit. Prove him wrong. It could just be that. I don't know. There's a lot of things in my. It's a little confusing. He's going downstairs. So I'm gonna say at this point Jonah's gone. Yeah. So it was. So this is one of the forms of the alternates, by the way, for any of those who forgot. This is why you're supposed to break the TVs. Actually, that's kind of interesting. Wait, I'm pretty sure in the there was this training exercise where it was like from a 0 to 10, rate how much you're stressed out by this, and that cat was the image on that test. It was that cat was the image that they showed us with the meowing. And obviously, you're not freaked out by that, but I guess it's trying to show that even the tiniest, innocent things can be construed and fucked. Okay, so this is obviously. This is. What are you? You don't remember me. Okay, so Adam's obviously gonna die at this point. There's no way he's living through this. So interesting though. So he's talking to it, which is really weird because we've never seen in this series before where an actual person is communicating with these things, which is like beyond like I was not expecting us to see this. Yeah, so Jonah left him. Hang on, I'm just gonna make sure that there was nothing on that tiny little glitch. I'm gonna make sure it was an actual glitch. I should say. Yeah. Okay. So do you understand? The person, or the alternate. What is going on right now? So now it's talking to him. Who are you running from? Oh god. There's so much going on. You left him to die. Okay, so this is interesting because it's talking to them. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Because something's gonna pop up. The Mandela Catalog Vol.2. That's it? Cold pillows, comfy beds, sweet dreams. Be gay. Do crime. And lovely listeners, remember, the next time you see something that you think is your friend, or your cat, maybe think twice before you're interacting with it. And who knows, you may already be infected with madness. Until next time, we're going ghost.